Without protest, there would be no women lawyers. There would be no women jurors. Without protest, we wouldn't have control over our own bodies. Okay? How our rights were established, we wouldn't be allowed to fucking vote without protest. So that's what it means to be a woman in this country and to embrace protest. It is important to who we are and the rights and freedoms that we get in this country that are being attacked every day by those fucking conservatives. Alright? So, what I want to say is, yes, free tuition is a must. If we have any kind of idea about gender equality, class equality, race equality, then we cannot have skyrocketing tuition. I don't care how we compare to other countries. That doesn't matter. What matters is the rate that people are living at today and the fact that people in my age, people in my gender, don't have a fucking future except for a goddamn death sentence. That is not acceptable. That is a goddamn shame. We are here today to bang our pots and pans. This is the first of many rallies that we will be having here, to banging our pots and pans, getting people involved. This city needs to get involved. This city thinks that it can outlaw protests and marches? Shame!
Shame! I too was in Montreal last weekend and participated in a march of over 10,000 people. I cannot describe to you what it is like to be in a march of 10,000 people. The energy, the cheering, the chanting, the spirit of it all. It was truly magical. The Quebec government on that weekend passed Bill 78, effectively criminalizing protest. The free assembly of the people, guaranteed by the Canadian Charter of Rights.
I love the Charter!
Woo! Indeed, is criminalized by this bill. The bill cannot stand. The people will stand against it, and they do stand against it. After the bill was passed, more people showed up to protests. They continue to show up to protests. They bring their pots and pans and their red squares, and they march through the streets and demonstrate that they will not be suppressed. Their right to free expression will not be taken away from them. And we too have a right to freedom of expression and freedom of assembly. We assemble here freely as Canadian citizens in this park to demonstrate. We should have this right. We do have this right. But even here in London, we are in danger. Recently was passed by our City Council the Public Nuisance Bylaw. While good intentioned, it can be dangerous. It can be misused. There it is right there. It has the danger in the wording of the bylaw to outlaw protests such as these, marches on our city streets. We cannot stand for this either. We cannot allow our local government to abuse its power like this. We cannot allow our local police force, supposed to be protectors of the public order, to suppress us. We will not be suppressed.
That's right.
Challenge to you. Come out next week. Do this again. Bring your red squares. Bring your pots and pans. Bring your friends. Bring your families. Bring everyone you know. We the people are the government of Canada. We are in charge here. Not them. Not them. We. We can make a difference in this world if we stand together and make our voices heard. Again, thank you.
One of the rhythms that everyone beats out on their pots and pans when they're marching in the streets of Montreal is this. Can you do it? I'm going to tell you in French, then I'm going to tell you what it means if you don't know. It goes like this. La la spécial. Autant Carlis. La la spécial. Autant Carlis. Now what this chant basically means is that the special law, Bill 78, is bullshit. I wanted to make your attention to exactly how that's worded. Now, Carlis is a particularly Quebecois swear, okay? It derives from a relationship with the Catholic Church in Quebec from back in the Quiet Revolution. In the 60s in Quebec, the Catholic Church underwrote the legitimacy of the state to engage in a lot of repressive practices. And one of the ways that the people popularly revolted against that was by taking sacred words from the Catholic Church, like kalis, like tabernacle, and making them into swear words. When they say kalis, it means the chalice. And when you call that bullshit, what you're doing is undermining the legitimacy of that to be a symbol of authority. People in Montreal, people in Quebec are chanting ensemble kalis is they're invoking the same sentiment. The special law has no authority over the people. That is illegitimate. That law is illegitimate because the state claims that it takes its authority from the popular will of the people. This law demonstrates that it does not. This protest started out as a protest against tuition hikes, but it has spread out into a wider field, and that is a protest against an austerity agenda that is being imposed by the state on the people. And this agenda is one that siphons off our resources from us, derives them, and gives them over to the state, which is now deploying them in ways to repress us as people. I'm talking about super jails. I'm talking about the fact that unemployment insurance has been drastically cut. I'm talking about the fact that refugees who land in Canada will, as of June 1st, no longer be eligible for health care. If you're a refugee and you're in Canada and you're sick, you can go and die. Is that the sort of thing that we think that our state should be doing to people? Do we think that's legitimate? No!
No!
Bullshit! Well, I think we should all remind ourselves and remind the people around us that actually we are the state. The state doesn't fucking own